It's Wednesday. It is the 24th of January 2018. Hope you're having a great day, whatever you're doing. And it's time for MCOC news again. Yeah, I thought it was pretty quiet with regards to information or stuff that was going on with regards to forums, but it looks like a lot of things are happening, especially with 6 stars. But first of all, let's get 2 stories out of the way, which are kind of like small, but important and mediocre. But it's important to get them out of the way first. Our first story is all about the extended maintenance. Yeah, it's a bit of a downer with regards to that. January 30th, 2018, we're going to see 4 hours of downtime, and it's 8 PM PST time, PDT, whatever time it is in your, wherever you are, because obviously I could say one time and everyone's differs. Just search and obviously check what time frame you are with regards to like when it's down, and will it affect you in any way with regards to planning arena, alliance wars, alliance questing. Basically make sure that you understand what you're doing. Alliance leaders, make sure you're kind of like picking and choosing your alliance wars. Kind of, I think the time frame works out, so you won't really have any kind of issues with regards to placement and time. Either way, just plan ahead, plan well, and you'll be fine. And you never know, in that 4 hours you may plan to do something else. Pick up a new game, go for a cycle ride, go to the gym, be at work, be at school, do homework, do whatever really. There's 4 hours of downtime, so you might as well make the use of it. Our second small story to get out of the way before the big juicy stories is that there's a new deal in the store. It's kind of like outside the store. It's kind of the separate thing with regards to choosing, which is kind of cool with regards to unit purchase for awakening gems. I don't know if we've ever had a deal where you could get stuff purchased with like units. I can't remember a time when you really could to get an awakening gem of sorts. So it's kind of cool as well. It's 850. Now obviously people will be able to have grinded this out, and obviously if you haven't grinded it out, then you may opt to purchase it. To give you a comparable idea, it's the equivalent to £30 in the UK, or the Tony Stark briefcase, I think it is. So people will kind of go, oh no, rip-off deal. But if you consider the fact you could actually purchase this with units, this is a pretty kind of interesting and I think slightly unique deal. I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm sure it's been released before at some stage. But still, if someone's looking to awaken, that 4-star, having a generic awakening gem is pretty cool. As well, we're coming with 40 signatures, so you can apply some decent signature levels onto whatever champion you choose. There is gold, there's 100,000 gold, which is, again, it's kind of cool. And also, we've got some tier 5 ISO. Not like hugely amazing. I'm sure people have got lots of ISO, but at the same time, if you're looking for a relatively good deal bought with units as opposed to with physical money, then this may be an option for you. There is a 3-star version, but I don't know if anybody's really going to be interested in the 3-star version. 4-star maybe well up someone's street. Oh yes, indeed, it is juicy story time. There's one of 2, and they're kind of like a 2-part. It starts off with the announcement of 6 stars. These will be going live next week, which, yeah, they're right. Even like Command Mike put in this, like, it's been a long time coming. We've seen them. We've been teased them. People are giving their feedback, whether positive or negative. But still, here we go. This is 6 stars coming into the game. And with the release of 6 stars, obviously we're looking at comparability with regards to 5 stars in the same market. So say 5 stars at rank 4 comparable to 6 stars at say rank 1 or rank 2. Obviously they're going to be exponentially higher, which is going to be great. Obviously the main focus in getting 6 stars is they're going to be able to catapult you through a lot of difficult content, and I really tip them to be, you know, really helpful when it comes to things like Labyrinth of Legends. Once the point you've got a 6-star, obviously we'll go on to potential trash ones, but the idea of adrenaline, which is in the next story, may even kind of counterbalance that with regards to them being a lot more effective, regardless of us kind of like tipping any champion to be trash in the future. And obviously when it comes to ranking up these 6 stars, yeah, there's a lot of meat to this. You've got to have a lot of resources in order to catapult your 6 stars up further. Oh yeah, you're going to need a lot of tier 4 class catalyst. And obviously that's probably the reason the way the game has changed with regards to giving out so much when it comes to the frequency of the tier 4 class catalyst fragment crystal, and also with regards to the pulls within map crystals, obviously greater glory crystals, standard glory crystals. These things being added into the game obviously had back then an idea that they would be required of more when it came to further points in the game with the release of the 6 stars. So it's good in some ways, but we still will then go back to that point we were, where we need a lot of resource in order to get these guys up at 6-star higher. So the main thing to point out is that yes, Kabam Mike does say that tier 5 basics are really hard to come by, and that's obviously the kind of the issue at the moment. We're going to see hopefully some improvements with that, and I'm sure in the future there's going to be more obtainable resource in the future, so people can really get those 6 stars up higher. And obviously, if you've not been following the information, just that you know, it is 10,000 shards with regards to getting a 6-star crystal. So obviously, have at it with getting them when you've got them. So the moment that we've all waited for, who's going to be entered, and of this list, it's a very kind of like yay and a bit kind of like there's a few kind of like hidden gems that I really like. Captain America World War II is going to be insane, especially with the fact that you can use like adrenaline, and as I said, we'll talk about adrenaline in a moment. The kind of combination between that champion and that is pretty cool. Seeing Nebula in there is quite cool. Angela as well. That was kind of like good. When we knew about Angela coming in, because obviously we've done the 6-star kind of like test account kind of overview, so we definitely know that we were getting them. Storm and Yondu is great. You know, we've got Gamora, we've got well, some really iffy ones. If they get Luke Cage right with regards to improvements, then I think that a lot of players will kind of go, yeah, okay, cool. Other than that, not a huge amount with regards to champions actually hugely stand out for me, and it does seem to be a thing that Kabam do from time to time, especially when the initial 5-star pool was put in last year when they went in. So I didn't really expect anything too fabulous with regards to being put in, and I'm still actually waiting for that day how they're gonna work in Scarlet Witch. Are there any other kind of like champions that are pretty badass with regards to be put in there? That was I would have hoped for like a few like unique ones, maybe even like Dormammu being put in there, maybe even, well, I say again, optimistic to put in things like Stark Spidey, but that's the thing, isn't it? They won't do that. They're the trump cards. They're going to be played when the time is right, when there's time to be spending the old do-re-mi in game. So other than that, I think this was an all-right pool. I think it was better than the first edition of the 5-star pool, so little bits improvements there. So the crystal goes live on the 31st of January 2018. You have been advised to restart the game at that point. And the other thing is that the usage of these champions have not stretched to arena. Everything else they can be used in, but not arena yet. So hopefully it is a case that this becomes a change, and we obviously find out how much with regards to points within the arena you can get. I myself, I'm pretty behind with regards to doing a lot of Act 5.4, so I don't think I'm going to make it with regards to the completion or the kind of like even the point that this 6-star crystal goes live. But that's going to have to be something I'm going to work on the next couple of months. But I'm going to cover that in another video with regards to what I'm doing in February that's quite kind of like important with that. Anyway, let's move on to Adrenaline. So Adrenaline is the new mechanic that's going to be attached to 6 stars. The way that 5 stars work with the L3s, and how you were able to kind of play as a mini game with regards to like hitting it on point and then getting perfect and a plus like 20% with regards to damage. Similar-ish with regards to this concept, the way that Adrenaline works. And Adrenaline will work in a kind of a way of not life transfer, but it is to a degree. It's a case of like it is regenning of sorts, but we'll go into more detail on that. The concept seems to really rely on the idea of as soon as you're struck, then you use a case of like striking back, especially with your adrenaline bar working with your health bar in conjunction with damage taken, and then what you're then regenning back. It's a very kind of like odd concept. I think we'll really have to see it in action to really get an idea of like how it works. I'm kind of like trying to visualize it with regards to comparisons to other games. I'm kind of thinking about the way that Street Fighter and other things, I think, not like Tekken, but there are other kind of like fighting games that have this kind of concept of like adrenaline bars and kind of like stuff with regards to like health going down and then going down again. I'm trying to find an idea of a game that is similar to this. The other classification with regards to the concept is not in relation to, say, things with regards to it being a definite bar of health. So basically when you run out of health you die, but with regards to the way the adrenaline works, it still theoretically lives. So it's all about, you know, you could take 5,000 damage but you have an adrenaline bar there, you would still die, the adrenaline will still be there. So the important thing is with regards to like hitting out. The way that it works as well against things with regards to heal reversers, the way it works with regen and heal blocks, and also bleeds as well. Well, the bleed side of things, you will theoretically die from it, from that health loss. But when it comes to like reversal of health, that doesn't interact with that, and that's the case. Like obviously, if you were Wolverine and you had regen at the time, but you were low on health, but you had a high adrenaline, it would still mean if you did not get your adrenaline converted, you would still theoretically die from, say, heal reversal from either void or from, say, guillotine. It's a very odd concept. I think it will work in principle, but I really would like to see this in action. So I'm obviously hoping that when it releases, plenty of videos that will probably be released on the subject, so that it will be fine. I'm sure that we'll get an idea of it. How I think the whole concept will really look, it's going to be similar to stuff with regards to like life transfer. You have a very small window with regards to attack back. It's not that you're going to be losing health during this period. It's just going to be a case that how quick you are to use that adrenaline to then convert to regen is going to be important. But like I said, it will be really exciting to see when this goes out for a visualization of how it's going to work. Obviously look to the 31st of January 2018 with regards to these champions being released in game. So that's been your MCC news, a very special one with regards to release of 6 stars and a few other kind of like little stories with that. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, obviously hit that like button and subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content. And if you have an opinion on the 6 stars, then put it in the comments section below. Have a great day, and I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye bye for now.